In this video, I'm going to cover the 3 operational levels of 7 to 8 figure construction companies. The levels represent how well you operate as a company, and you may not have ever kind of scored yourself, but I'm going to give you a scale essentially. And by the end of the video, you'll be able to score yourself into one of these 3 buckets. And I've also created a custom GPT that you can use to help define which operational level you are at. The 3 levels are being either an amateur, a semi-professional, or a professional. And I like to use a sports analogy because I think our goal is to become professionals when it comes to operations, and 2 levels stand in the way from us getting there. So I'm going to go through each levels here. Level 1 being the amateur. So the amateur, the typical way that an amateur operates is based off spreadsheets. And I've seen some companies not even use spreadsheets. So these are completely non-digitized companies using paper and pen to manage all their jobs and rostering and all this stuff. But more often than not, spreadsheets are used at the very beginning of a company's life cycle as a construction business. And some companies hang on to this even when they become 20, 30, 40 employees big. They're still operating on spreadsheets. If you're operating on spreadsheets as your core job management system, then you are classified as an amateur. The next part is WhatsApp. If you're also using WhatsApp, and WhatsApp is a part of your critical path, meaning to deliver on your work, you need WhatsApp to actually do that. And you're not just using WhatsApp to communicate among your team members. You're using it, say, to transfer site photos or documentation, really important stuff that needs to be structured and linked to a job record. You're using WhatsApp to pass this information back and forth. What this looks like is you end up having like 10 different WhatsApp groups, and you tell people you operate on WhatsApp and you kind of wear it as a badge of honor. It's not a badge of honor. If you're still using spreadsheets and WhatsApp to run your business, then that is the amateur level. And now when it comes to tech and AI, how do amateurs approach tech and AI? They essentially avoid it, either because they just don't have the skill set to go down learning tech and AI, or they don't think that it's gonna actually move the needle for their business, or they simply just don't have the time to do it and they put it off and they put it off and just never kind of come to it. Amateurs typically avoid tech and AI altogether. And what does that mean? So operating on spreadsheets, WhatsApp, and avoiding tech and AI, what does that mean? It means that every job ultimately leans on you. I think as an amateur, you'll find it very hard to step away from the business for 4 weeks and to go on some kind of trip or a vacation without the system just completely crumbling. So at the amateur level, every job leans on you. You're very much in the business. You're in the critical path. Things cannot operate and move well without you. Jobs can't be delivered. Sales can't be made. These are all the characteristics of being an amateur. That's level 1. Now, level 2 is becoming a semi-professional. And typically you move from being an amateur to semi-professional, but you may also just start your journey as a semi-professional, because it'll become very clear in a second. How do semi-professionals operate? If the amateurs operated using spreadsheets and WhatsApp, the semi-professionals, they sign up to tools, but the issue is they use too many tools, and these tools don't even communicate to each other well. So they're either trying to patch the tools together, and they're using either Zapier or some kind of APIs or automations to kind of connect one system to another. But something that's very important there as well is even the systems that they are using, they don't typically find a lot of value out of them. So the semi-professionals spend tens of thousands of dollars a year on software subscriptions, but they don't even like using their software. They'll be the first to tell you our software sucks, our systems suck, we're lacking confidence here. So that tells me they're a semi-professional. It just means they haven't gone through the disciplined exercise of auditing all of their tools and figuring out what the best kind of structure is for their business. That translates into being scared to scale, which is if you get 10 new jobs come through the door tomorrow, you either perceive that to be dangerous activity or something you're excited about. And if you lean on it being a dangerous activity, then more often than not, it's because you're not trusting your systems. That is another classic criteria for being a semi-professional. You don't trust your systems to scale. When it comes to tech and AI, semi-professionals experiment with it. So they're kind of on the fence. Some have taken the leap. Maybe they've implemented AI voice agents or AI voice receptionists or SMS receptionists. They've experimented with tech and AI and probably implemented it. However, because of the previous 2 points, AI is essentially just amplifying their poor systems. So they could be much better off if they had better infrastructure and then apply AI versus them applying AI and experimenting with it while they have kind of a shaky foundation. But they do experiment with tech and AI and they do see the value in it. As a semi-professional, every job that comes through costs you more. Because you're inefficient at delivering jobs and you're inefficient at winning work potentially at this stage, every new job that comes through the door is costing you in inefficiency. And it's also costing you because to keep all your systems alive, to keep it all operating well, you're most likely going to have to hire more coordinators, more admin staff, more people, more headcount in the business because you're inefficient. That is why I say every job costs you more. Getting 10, 20, 50 jobs is only going to amplify your problems, not solve them. So yeah, that's why I would say that every job costs you more. Now let's look at the professional. So the professional is what we all aspire to be. And if you're watching this video, you're most likely either in one of the first 2 levels. If you are a professional, then congratulations, that is amazing. That's what I strive to accomplish with all the clients that we work with. Because when you're a professional, you're essentially operating off one centralized system. No longer 5 to 7 disconnected tools, no longer WhatsApp in the critical path, no longer calendar and phone communication to kind of organize all of your crew and all of your work. You're operating off one centralized system, which is essentially one source of truth. And that could look like a place that you log in, the whole team logs in, so one area that your whole team logs into, and that's where everything is housed. And this could be one software, or it could be the window into multiple different systems and tools that you use. But the main thing is that it is centralized, and it's just one place that is centralized as well. Tech and AI. How do professionals treat tech and AI? Tech and AI is at the core of a professional operation. Because they're now operating off a centralized system and they have thought through their data model, their data schema, their infrastructure, their systems, their entire internal user experience for their whole team to deliver work from quote all the way through to aftercare, they're able to leverage tech and AI to really amplify and expand on what they're currently doing. So the centralized system itself is a big investment in tech. And once you have that in place, you can further invest in AI to optimize and start to automate parts of that system so that your team doesn't have to manually go into the centralized system all the time. Automations are just firing off while you guys sleep or while certain triggers and actions take place. So tech and AI is at the core. Because of the first 2 reasons, professional operations are confident to grow. Professional owners, they are confident to grow their business. And that's the goal that we want. We want to say that if we've got 10 new projects tomorrow, we are confident in delivering to a very high standard. We're confident that our profit is going to be maximized for each job and that the quality of work is not going to slip across all of our projects. And the main thing above all is that our clients get a 10 out of 10 customer experience. Because if we provide a poor experience to one client, we understand this in the construction industry, it is critical to provide and delight a great experience because to provide a great experience and delight your customer, because there are 1,000 other companies just like you that are waiting to get that contract. So you can't slip up at all. You have to provide a 10 out of 10 experience. And having a centralized system and being tech and AI enabled allows you to do that. And therefore, every job we get compounds. It actually improves the state of the business. It's better than it was before the job came in because everything is efficient. More jobs leads to maximum margin, maximum profit, which you can then reinvest and use to compound your company, compound your business, and really start to step away from the pack because it is such a competitive space. You have to do everything in your disposal to step away from the pack, right? And to make a name for yourself in your market and really innovate. And that's essentially the third level, which is professional, which we all aspire to be, and which is what I help our clients with. So if it wasn't super clear which level you were currently on, I made a very basic GPT using ChatGPT. The link is below. It's completely free. It's not gated behind an email or anything. Just click the link, answer a few of the questions, and then that GPT will tell you what level you are. And then it'll suggest a way for you to improve or take a next step from there. So yeah, if you found the video valuable, please like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.